Welcome everyone. We're glad to have you here today for a big announcement for Special Olympics. Glad for our staff to join us for this announcement, as well as some of the media and friends of Special Olympics. So first off, I want to share with you thanks to our selection committee, because our selection committee was chaired by Phil Cook. He's the past SOMO board chair, and he's also a present board member. We also had on the committee Glenda Knable. She's a board member, current, as well as Roger Gardner, a current board member, Jarrett Niemeyer, our athlete, but also a current board member.
I've been thinking about what would be the first thing I would do as a CEO. There's many things that need to happen like now, right away, all at the same time. But I have to first say I just want to be thankful. I'm thankful to God, who I felt through this whole process, to my family, who are always my #1 supporters, my mom and dad and Seth are here today. Love you guys. And Steve too. When I first started, Jamie Graham was the athlete that I got to know right away. He really was my first SOMO friend. And then from Derek Sambothy to Thomas Cleek to Beth Brokamp to Sarah Byland to Tina Jones, Rob Eichelberger, I mean the list goes on, but those are just the people that I am most inspired by because of the way that they are brave in the attempt every day. And I thought if they can be brave in the attempt, then I can be brave in the attempt. And I accept this new challenge because of them. Also just ensuring that staff, the current team, has the resources that we need to achieve our strategic plan that we have in place right now. It's a pretty aggressive plan. We do everything according to our strategic plan. It drives every decision we make. Our plan is really about training for life. Our athletes train every day for life. We cannot do that alone. We need collaborative partners, people who are willing to step out and accept partnerships with us and grow our programs, to grow our athletes, to grow our revenues, to grow our volunteers, to grow our coaches, to grow our staff. So we need help to do that. So I challenge everyone in the room and everyone who's already on the SOMO team, and there's thousands of you out there, to tell more stories about Special Olympics so we can grow the movement that we all care so much about. SOMO is in a really great place right now because we are so blessed with a talented team. We have a talented team of volunteers, staff, board, coaches, and constituents and athletes that all work to serve our mission. Together, everyone achieves more. Thank you for being on the team.
Hi, I'm Shaquana Hobbs with SOMO TV with my partner Daxton and Susan Stegeman. Hi, Susan.
Hi, Shaquana. Hi, Daxton.
Hi.
Is it okay if we ask you some questions?
Absolutely.
What is going to happen when you become a CEO?
Well, I don't think there's going to be a lightning bolt hit the ground or anything really drastic happen. I will move my office probably. I'm going to move probably two doors down. But having worked with Mark with Mark for 27.5 years, there's not going to be a whole lot different that's going to happen right away. Mm-hmm. One of the things that drives Special Olympics and drives all the staff and the decisions that we make is our strategic plan. And that is what is formulated really for what's best for the athletes, always what's the best for the interest of the athletes. So we'll just focus on implementing, along with the staff, all of the objectives and goals of our strategic plan.
That's good to hear.
Okay. What is the future of the SOMO?
I think the future of SOMO is really bright because we have an awesome team. We have great athletes that provide us the inspiration like you guys do, and we want to make sure that we're always looking out for what's best for the athletes, always. We have a great team, great volunteers, great coaches, many exciting things happening. So I feel like we're really just getting started in some ways with a lot of new programming with the Training for Life campus, as well as our health and wellness programs and athlete leadership programs for life skills. So I think it's really exciting. The future is really bright.
Okay.
What is going to happen in the next 5 years?
One of the things I'm looking forward to is visiting with a lot of people to find out what they think SOMO should do or be in the next 5 years. So for the first 3 years, I don't need to mess with anything because we have our strategic plan. But the next three years plan will be my responsibility to do my due diligence in finding out what is needed. What do the athletes want? What do you guys need? What can we do to grow and provide Special Olympics for even more athletes in the state of Missouri? So we're going to figure that out together.
Okay.
Okay. What are you looking forward to as CEO?
I'm looking forward to learning.
Okay.
I've been doing working for Special Olympics for 28 years, and I've always been in the development side, so fundraising and special events, and working with donors and seeking out financial support. As a CEO, I will also do some of that, of course, but I really am looking forward to learning new things and learning what else I can do to help SOMO grow.
Okay.
What is a good role model for you?
I talked about one of the very first friends I made in Special Olympics. It was probably my first year in Special Olympics, and his name is Jamie Graham. He's one of our Hall of Famers, and he's very talented. He's an artist. If you've been at the campus, you've seen his artwork. He's just an inspiration to me because he really didn't have a lot of support in his life, and through Special Olympics, he made a lot of friends and grew his family of supporters and brought in the community. He was from the Lake of the Ozarks and brought in a community of supporters for him and really introduced a lot of new people to Special Olympics. So I think that's really cool because he's got such a good message, and he's still an athlete, still involved. Came out of retirement, I think, for the second time, and now is playing basketball. So it's really neat to see because Special Olympics, as you know,
It's
you
a
can
family.
it's a family, and you can do it no matter how old you are, and it kind of meets you where you are in your life. And he missed being an athlete and participating, so he came back. So it's really cool to see him back involved.
Okay. Is this a dream come true for you?
Well, I think it is a dream job. I never set out to say I wanted to be the next CEO. But having worked at Special Olympics for so many years and meeting so many wonderful people, it is a dream job to get to continue to work for such a great organization and work for all of you.
What is your favorite memory about SOMO?
Wow, in 28 years, my favorite memory. Probably my first experience attending a state games. It was at Fort Leonard Wood, and I hadn't even started yet. I was invited to go down just to observe and see it because I wasn't going to start for a month or so, and just wanted to take advantage of that. And I was just blown away by the opening ceremony with the soldiers. When it was at Fort Leonard Wood, they never sat down during the whole entire parade of athletes, never. And there were thousands of cheering soldiers there, just high-fiving and waving and cheering, and I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it because it just went on and on and on, and that was so inspirational, and I think really still is something that we should strive to do is fill our stands with people and fans for you guys.
I thank Susan and my name Daxon Miller and Shaquana. Hope y'all see us on TV for SOMO TV.
Welcome to SOMO TV. I'm Allison DiAgostino and Shaquana Hobbs, and with us is Mike Lowry.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
How did you get started with Special Olympics?
My first start with Special Olympics was basically because it was my job. I was the recreation director at a facility for residential facility for cognitively impaired adults, and I was in charge of the recreation program, and part of that was doing Special Olympics.
Okay.
And how long have you been in Special Olympics, Missouri?
I've been involved with Special Olympics about 23 years as a coach.
That's impressive.
The last 3.5 years as a parent.
Why did you want to become a Special Olympics coach?
I'm not sure that I initially wanted to be. It was part of my job. It was the expectation. it became a real love simply because I learned so much from the athletes. You know, I grew up doing sports in high school, even in college, and you know, it's driven. You got to go, got to win, got to win, got to win. And doing your best sometimes wasn't enough. And what I've learned from Special Olympic athletes is that you take pride in doing your best, you work hard at it, and when you're done, you're done. You have friends, you race against your friends, you play basketball against your friends, and when the game is over, it's over, and we're friends, we're sitting down having lunch. And you don't find that in sports anywhere. So it started because it was my job, and now I'm hooked.
So I understand you're a coach. Is there any other job you do in Special Olympics?
Oh, I've served on different committees, mostly local committees for different events. I also have been training coaches on occasion. Training coaches is kind of an interesting thing for me because you get to share the things that you've learned from the athletes. I don't know if the athletes know it, but they're the greatest teachers in the world. They can teach just by having conversation with you and showing you how they live and how they interact with each other. You go to world games and athletes from different parts of the world sit down and have conversation, and their language doesn't match, but they understand.
Right.
And I mean, that's just fantastic. So I have done other things with trainings and serving on committees with Special Olympics.
What is your favorite sport to do with the athletes?
I think track and field is probably my favorite. It's individual, but you also have to instill team.
Yeah.
Because you're working together. But you're wanting the individual to try their best, and it's their own race. But you want everybody else to be there watching, helping, cheering on.
Of course.
Giving them their own pep talk.
Mm.
So for me, that's one of my favorites.
So have you ever, like you already mentioned it, but have you ever traveled within Special Olympics?
I have been very blessed. I have been a World Games coach 3 times. I went to Ireland, Greece, and in LA. And I've been on USA Games, once as a coach and once as a unified partner. And unified partner was fabulous. I also met my wife through Special Olympics, so I've been very blessed with Special Olympics. It's been a great union for me.
What is one thing that people don't know about you?
One thing that people don't. I'm a woodworker. I love to do crafts. I do woodworking. I don't know. I guess I thought I was going to retire, but I can't. So now I work part-time and do crafts and that kind of thing. I don't really necessarily do them to sell or anything. I just do them because I enjoy it.
Mike, from what I understand, Shaquana is your daughter.
It's
how
true.
How does she enter your life?
My wife and I were her Special Olympics coach. And we were on a basketball trip and heard that they wanted to come down and take her. Family Services did, and we convinced them not to. And let us play our basketball game. Let us get through the weekend. Let's not disturb that.
Yeah.
And in that process, we also learned that they needed, her and her sister needed a place to go to. And Kathy, my wife, and I talked about it and decided that we would be temporary, and we couldn't let go. So has been in our lives for 2.5 years, well, almost 3 years. It'll be 3 years March 1st, and it's been a wonderful, wonderful adventure.
Well, thank you,
My
Dan.
pleasure.
Signing for Allison, I'm Shaquana Hobbs. Have a good day.
For me, it's very important to be active in my life. The reason I say that, because I have asthma, and if I just sit around, eat constantly, and just move a couple of hours for once or even twice a week, I would have an asthma attack or even die. So that's why I choose to be active, so I can control my asthma and not having asthma controlling me. I participate in sports all year around, but usually there is one practice a week or two. It depends how many sports I play in the season. I'm still being active when I have practice. I still do my exercise routine in the practice days and on competition days. I try. There is a couple of ways to stay active in your daily life. It's called eating healthy, exercise, and staying hydrated with water. There are even tools that could help you being active. By being active, I can perform better in the sports I participate, and I can last longer. Don't have to take many breaks. I can tell there is a big difference in me when I'm performing in my sports. Since I started participating in Special Olympics, I like to think Special Olympics has changed my life for the good. In fact, I know they have changed my life for the good, and I'm so grateful, Special Olympics.
I'm Shaquana Hobbs with SOMO TV. I'm with Tobin and Lynna Hodgson. Hi, Lynna.
Hi, Lynna.
Hi, guys.
What did you do in Washington, D.C.?
Well, I went to the Capitol and I met with some people that the representatives of Missouri and talked to them about what Special Olympics Missouri means and about the health respect.
Can you tell me what was your favorite part of the trip to Capitol Hill?
My favorite part, let's see here. I would say me meeting the representatives. That was really neat. I haven't met them before, so, and telling my story.
Lynna, can you tell me a little bit more detailed about what you talked to the representatives about?
I talked about my story and how I got involved and why the health aspect was so important and why I thought that the athletes back in Missouri should be being healthy. And
Can you tell us a little bit about why it's so important to you?
it's really important to me because I have asthma, and after I lost the weight, I can compete better and last longer, and by eating healthier and eating good foods, I'm not so sluggish.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah, but you have a choice, so it's your choice. But if you just eat, like, I call it garbage food, but
Yeah.
you'd be sluggish and you'd be a couch potato, and one day I decided I didn't want to be that. I want to live.
Can you tell me about, did you get to talk with Tim Shriver or Senator Blunt?
Yes, I got pictures with Blunt and some other representatives, and we did see Tim at the end of the day, and we got pictures with him, and that was very neat to see.
Were you nervous at all to give your speech?
Yep, I was nervous, but I had faith, and I had faith in myself that I could do it, and I did it.
That's good.
Did you get to go on a little train ride underneath the Capitol that is only for representatives and people from?
How did you guys know about that? It was supposed to be a secret. But yes, we did.
How do I know about that? Well, I was also got to go to Capitol Hill myself a couple of years ago
Yeah.
and talk to Senator Blunt and the other representatives.
Yes, it was really interesting. I didn't even know they had a train down there, but it was really neat to see. And on our way to the train, we saw all of these paintings.
The museum part.
Yes. So that was very interesting to see. Like, I know I could never do something like that, but it was really neat.
I think you have the potential to do stuff like that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lynna, for Alan Tobin and Shaquana Hobbs. Have a good day.